She cleaned his mansion for 3 years. Every day she was invisible to him, until the night she found him on the bathroom floor, unconscious, alone, and dying. What happened next changed both their lives forever. This is the story of how a maid became the only person a billionaire could trust. Her name was Maya Torres, 34 years old, single mother of a 7-year-old daughter with cerebral palsy. Every morning at 5 a.m., she took 2 buses to reach the Wellington estate, a 40,000-square-foot mansion in Pacific Palisades. The owner, Sebastian Grant, tech billionaire, 42 years old, net worth $8.7 billion, built his empire creating AI software that revolutionized healthcare. Cold, brilliant, completely alone, Maya was one of 12 staff members who kept his world running. But to Sebastian, she might as well have been a ghost. In 3 years, he'd never once looked her in the eye, never said her name, just left notes. The study needs attention. Windows streaked. Do better. Most of the staff hated him, called him the Ice King behind his back. But Maya, she noticed things others didn't. She noticed he never ate the gourmet meals his private chef prepared. She noticed the prescription bottles accumulating in his bathroom. She noticed how he'd stand at his bedroom window at 3 a.m. just staring into nothing. Sebastian Grant had everything money could buy, but Maya saw what everyone else missed. He was drowning, October 15th, 11:47 p.m. Maya was finishing late because the housekeeper had quit that morning. Another one, they all quit eventually. She was collecting the last of the trash when she heard it. A sound that made her blood run cold. She froze. Protocol said staff should never go to the private wing after 8 p.m. She could be fired, sued, but something in that sound. She ran upstairs. The master bathroom door was open, and there he was, Sebastian Grant. The Ice King, the untouchable billionaire, face down on marble tile, unconscious, a pool of vomit beside him, empty pill bottles scattered everywhere. Maya didn't hesitate. She checked his pulse, weak but there. Called 911, turned him on his side, cleared his airway. 20 years ago, before her daughter was born, she'd been a nursing student. Those instincts kicked in, but here's where it gets complicated. As she's on the phone with 911, Sebastian's phone starts ringing. She sees the caller ID, board chairman, then another call. Wall Street Journal, another, mother. And Maya realizes something. If this gets out, if the world knows Sebastian Grant tried to end his life, his company crashes. Thousands of employees lose their jobs. His vulture family swoops in. His life's work destroyed. The paramedics arrive. They stabilize him. And then they ask Maya the question, is there family we should contact, next of kin? Maya looks at this man who never saw her, never spoke to her, treated her like furniture. And she makes a choice that will change everything. I'm his sister. I'll handle the notifications. For 3 days, Maya sat beside Sebastian's hospital bed. She called in sick to her other cleaning job, left her daughter with her mother, and she stayed. The doctors said he'd overdosed on his anxiety medication mixed with alcohol, said it could have been accidental, but Maya had seen those bathroom bottles, seen the note crumpled in the trash. She knew. She talked to him while he slept, about her daughter Isabella, about how hard it was being a single mom, about the time she dropped out of nursing school because she couldn't afford both tuition and diapers. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You don't even know my name. On the 3rd day, his eyes opened. He looked at her, really looked at her for the first time ever, and he spoke. You're my maid. I'm the person who saved your life. And right now, the person keeping your secret. Sebastian's face changed. Fear, vulnerability, shame. All the emotions his billions couldn't hide anymore. He asked, why would you do that for me? Maya stood up, gathering her things to leave. But at the door, she turned back. 'Cause I know what it's like to be invisible. And nobody should die feeling like they don't matter. Not even you. A week later, Maya arrived at work expecting to be fired. Instead, she found an envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside, a check for $50,000 and a note. Thank you. I've arranged for you to be transferred to a different property. You'll never have to see me again. Maya stared at that check. $50,000. That was her daughter's medical bills for the year. That was nursing school. That was everything. But she folded it, put it back in the envelope, and walked upstairs to Sebastian's office where he was hiding behind his computer. I don't want your money, he asked calmly. Then what do you want? To blackmail me? I want you to have dinner. Actual dinner, not a protein shake at your desk. I want you to talk to someone, a therapist, anyone, and I want you to stop treating people like they're invisible. Sebastian stared at her like she'd spoken a foreign language. No one talked to him like this. No one demanded anything from him. He asked her, why do you care? Because I was in that hospital bed 7 years ago. After my daughter's father left, after I lost everything, and someone cared enough to pull me back. Now I'm pulling you back. That's how it started. Not with romance, not with attraction, but with one broken person recognizing another. Sebastian started coming to the kitchen when Maya worked. At first, he'd just sit there, laptop open, pretending to work. But gradually, he started talking. About his company, about the pressure, about the family that only called when they wanted money. Maya talked too, about Isabella's laugh, about her dreams of becoming a nurse. About the beauty in small moments that billionaires never see. 3 months passed. Sebastian started therapy, started eating actual meals, started asking Maya questions. How's Isabella's physical therapy? Did you finish that nursing textbook? What's your favorite color? He learned her name, her daughter's name, her mother's name. He learned that she took the night shift at a diner on weekends, that she was terrified of thunder, that she'd never been to the ocean despite living in California her whole life. And Maya learned that underneath the ice, Sebastian was just scared. Scared of being used, scared of being loved for his money, scared of being human. It happened on a Tuesday. Maya was cleaning Sebastian's study when she found the photo. A young woman in a hospital bed, beautiful, bald from chemotherapy. Sebastian walked in and saw her holding it. His face went pale. That was Emily, my wife, he stuttered. Maya hadn't known. The media called him a bachelor, but the truth, ovarian cancer. She was 28. We'd been married 6 months. I built the company thinking I could save her. Created AI that helps doctors detect cancer earlier, but I was too late. I'm always too late, he explained, and suddenly everything made sense. The isolation, the guilt, the pills. Sebastian hadn't been living, he'd been punishing himself for surviving. Maya did something then that surprised them both. She hugged him, this billionaire, her boss, the man she'd once been invisible to, and he broke down crying in her arms. You're not too late anymore. You're here right now. That matters. That night changed everything. Sebastian stopped seeing Maya as his maid. Maya stopped seeing Sebastian as her boss. They started seeing each other as something else, but there was a problem. They both felt it. The pull, the connection. But between them stood an impossible gulf. He was a billionaire. She cleaned houses. His world would never accept her. Her world would think she was a gold digger, so they made a silent agreement. They'd stay friends, just friends. They'd never cross that line. That lasted exactly 4 months. Isabella's 7th birthday. Maya had mentioned it offhand, said she was throwing a small party at her apartment. Sebastian said nothing at the time. But that afternoon, Maya opened her door to find Sebastian standing there. No suit, just jeans and a sweater, holding a gift bag. What are you? You didn't have to. You invited me last week. You said you should meet Isabella sometime. So, here I am, he answered. He stayed for 3 hours, sat on the floor playing board games with Isabella, ate grocery store cake, sang happy birthday off-key. And for the first time in a decade, Sebastian Grant laughed, really laughed. As he was leaving, Isabella hugged him goodbye, and she whispered, "Are you my mom's boyfriend? Because she smiles differently when she talks about you." Maya turned red, tried to laugh it off, but Sebastian looked at her, really looked at her. And the air in that tiny apartment shifted. They stood in her doorway, the space between them electric. And Sebastian did something he'd never done in his carefully controlled life. Your daughter's right. You do smile different. And I need to be honest with you, I'm falling for you, Maya. I've been falling for months. And I know I shouldn't. I know this is complicated and wrong, and Maya kissed him, right there in her doorway, in her small apartment that fit inside his closet. And nothing in Sebastian's billion-dollar life had ever felt more valuable than that moment. But fairy tales crash into reality. And reality hit them hard. Someone photographed them together. A staff member. Sold it to the tabloids. Within 24 hours, it was everywhere. Billionaire's Cinderella story or gold digger scandal. Tech mogul dating his maid. Grant family outraged over relationship. Maya's phone exploded with hate messages. Her daughter got bullied at school. Her mother begged her to end it. Sebastian's board called an emergency meeting. The pressure was crushing. Sebastian's family threatened legal action if he didn't end the embarrassment. His mother actually said, "You can have your fun, Sebastian, but you cannot marry the help." And the world watched, waiting for Sebastian to cave, waiting for the billionaire to choose his empire over the maid. But here's what they didn't know about Sebastian Grant. Money made him rich. Maya made him human, and he'd rather be human. Sebastian called a press conference. His PR team begged him not to. His lawyers threatened to quit, but he did it anyway. He stood in front of the world and said something no billionaire had said before. My name is Sebastian Grant. I built my company to save lives, but 3 years ago I couldn't save my own. I was drowning in wealth and dying inside. Then a woman who had every reason to ignore me, who I'd treated as invisible, saved my life. Not for money, not for fame, but because she saw me as human. Her name is Maya Tors. She's a single mother, a former nursing student, the woman I love. If loving her costs me my company, my family, my fortune, so be it. Because she taught me something worth more than $8 billion. She taught me that being seen is the most valuable thing in the world. The room erupted. But Sebastian wasn't done. He announced something that shocked everyone. Effective immediately, I'm establishing a $100 million scholarship fund for single parents pursuing healthcare careers. In Maya's honor. Because the world needs more people who see the invisible, the internet exploded. But this time, differently. Maya's story resonated. Single mothers shared their struggles. Former maids talked about being invisible. People realized this wasn't a Cinderella story. It was a story about seeing each other, really seeing each other. Sebastian's family disowned him. Good. His board tried to remove him. He walked away, started a new company focused on accessibility technology. Maya went back to nursing school. Sebastian paid for it, but she insisted on loans she'd pay back herself. She graduated top of her class. 2 years later, on a beach in Santa Monica, Sebastian asked Maya to marry him. No photographers, no press. Just them, Isabella, and the sunset. She said yes. Not because he was a billionaire, but because he was the man who finally learned to see. Today, Maya works as a pediatric nurse. Isabella just started middle school. Sebastian's new company is worth $2 billion, and every employee gets paid a living wage with full benefits. But the real story isn't about money, it's about this. We're all invisible to someone, the waitress, the delivery driver, the person cleaning your office, and we're all drowning in something. But when we choose to see each other, really see each other, that's when magic happens. Sebastian didn't save Maya. Maya didn't save Sebastian. They saved each other by doing the simplest, hardest thing in the world. They paid attention. And sometimes that's worth more than all the billions in the world.